Starting tomorrow. Bloody hell.
Right, and good morning. It's a special Sunday. We've got John Tinsley, our club coach, and this is Rowany TV. We're just having a bit of a giggle. There's no script, but
you better tell them why you're laughing, Jed.
We're going to talk about coaching the coaches. So you may know that Rowany has got a super successful junior section. Our facilities at the club are wonderful. I mean, wouldn't you agree, John? What attributes, what are the special things about Rowany and where it's based?
Oh, it's based. Oh, well, it's got a great catchment area, obviously. But in terms of club facilities, obviously you've got the range, the putting green, you've got the great chipping area, and you've got that little 6-hole course. I think if I'm perfectly honest, Jed, I think we underuse it in terms of juniors, massively underuse it. And with lockdown and maybe an impetus from the golf union as well, that we need to get ourselves in a position where we can attract a lot more younger players and their mums and dads.
Exactly, and we've had a good effort at it over the last few years, but I think we can really take it up to another level. I love your coaching style, John. It's kind of less regimented than maybe some of the textbooks and coaches or professionals may want to deliver. Just gives a bit of an insight into how to teach young people, not just juniors, but folk coming into the game.
Well, the first thing you've got to know is this: that you've really got to do it with kids. You've got to do it through games. You've got to do it through experience. You've got to let with trial and error. And in terms of coaching them, there's a couple of golden rules, I would say. One is don't demonstrate anything. Don't demonstrate a thing. And that's not being disrespectful for anybody, but unless you can demonstrate perfectly, there's no point in doing it because kids copy. And the second thing is don't tell them anything either. So, it's not a matter of instruction, it's a matter of experimentation, of feel. Nature's got a way of allowing us to work it out. And we shouldn't get in the kids' ways. Just let them loose on it. Now there are things that we can create an environment for learning. That's the key thing for the coach, create an environment for learning, and to bring them along in that way. But certainly through massive game participation. And as a club, I think we've got to make a big decision really whether we're going to embrace the kids if we want to go down that route, in terms of more junior development of competitions, more into club competition, but in internal competitions, setting up a little short course, maybe 4 holes on the main course. Just more participation in the kids. I know it's difficult. It is difficult, but I can go back a few years that some clubs have been at. We've had 80 and 90 kids on a Monday night, and junior comps and inter clubs, and I think as an island, it's probably faded a bit. I don't see that much growth in it, to be honest. But I think there's a massive opportunity for us. It should be as welcoming the families, the young kids and young mums and dads. I think. I'm not saying we don't welcome them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but
we've got to be careful that we don't suck the fun out of it, isn't it? This is it. I'm just thinking, and I've been guilty of this in the past. I did the PGA coaching course, and it did have a lot of merits, and I enjoyed it. But I'm just looking back now, and the regimentation of it, kids stood in lines, you must do this. They've had like 8 hours at school, and then they come in for an extra, session of being told what to do. And I think, that we've kind of discussed, off air, where there's got to be more games. It's just got to be fun. And almost, let's face it, there's a number of ways to play golf, isn't there?
Well, no two golf swings are the same, Jed, and we've just been talking about the fact that golf clubs have got easier to hit. Golf courses are in better shape. They're more manicured than they ever were. Golf balls are certainly massively better. All of those things, and yet the game hasn't moved on in any shape or form. The scores are still, handicaps are still as what they were 60, 70 years ago. So something's going wrong, and part of that going wrong is that we think we have to swing in a certain way, and we don't have to swing in a certain way. And I think it's fair to say that there's quite a thrill if you as an older player you're going around the golf course and you see a youngster on the golf course and you look at them and they swing that really club and the body moves and the club sails they stick the thing back in the bag and off they chunder for the next one. And and you see them on the putting green. There's no fear or no intimidation, no inhibition, and it's just isn't it fantastic? Doesn't it give an absolute buzz to the club when you see these kids giving it a whole whack there? It's and having fun on the golf course. I used to, when I started playing, we used to get on our bikes. We used to strap a bag to the handlebar of the bike, and we used to cycle 8-10 mile up to the golf course, take some sandwiches, play all bloody day, go looking for golf balls for a couple of hours, and I still get a thrill out of finding a golf ball, by the way, because most of them are mine. But I absolutely just look back on those days and think, it's just fantastic. Now, very, very few people, to be fair, at that time, sat me down and started saying to me, you have to swing this particular way. And as the kids will find a way of delivering the club face to the ball square, and understanding how that's done and letting them work it out is the key thing. Not telling where the hands are going to be and stand this way, stand that way. So we've got to give a bit more freedom. And so in terms of coaching at the golf course, my vision for this is really just to manage the games that now there'll be certain parameters, but the safety elements one of them obviously, but to manage the games that we can allow these kids to participate in, which will grow their enthusiasm and want them coming back and sharing it with the mates and whatever. But then when they're out of school time, they've got to get there on that little 6-hole course and the like and have some fun. And I don't see kids doing it, and it's a shame because it's a great facility. It's fantastic for little kids.
You're absolutely right, and Rowany has got it all on the doorstep with the various little practice areas, and we hope to set up a 150-yard shot course, really, which is simple because we've got the markers at the side of the fairways to do that. But in essence, we put out a note in the newsletter to ask for junior coaches, and we had a very good uptake, and I was really surprised to see some names come forward. But the purpose of sharing this information on Facebook is reaching out to all the membership, even if you've coached golf previously, is if you'd like to get involved, please get in touch. And I think it's worthy to note that all the DBS, which is like the criminal records check and what have you, and the safeguarding that you have to have those, those principles behind you, those certificates, we're going to look after you on that. So don't be afraid of form filling and the fact that you might have to produce a utility bill. I know it brings people out in a cold sweat, but we will look after you, because the good thing is we've got the fabulous Mr. Andrew Horn in the club. So he's the man, he's the secretary for Isle of Man Golf. And of course we've got Gordon Pearman, who's just written the safeguarding policy for the Golf Union. So we're in good shape when it comes down to having all the boring stuff taken care of. But John, what we want to do is that when we have our list, and I think we've got a good number so far, and I must admit there's like one excellent golfer in there, so we're really chuffed about that. And we need to perhaps just get a few more, but just talk us through the coaches plan that you've got. What
we've got to finalise it, Jed, as you know. But what I want to do, and of course lockdown is literally put a stop to that. But we can do it online, I guess. Not so easy online because the visuals aren't so easy to sort out. Is to get together with these people and to go through the games, the lesson plans, if you like. And when I did my teaching, anybody as far as the teachers are way back when, you do set out your lesson plan. So you have to have a little bit of structure in what is you're going to do and what. And some objectives and the like, but we've got the stuff. I've got the stuff that we can to use as a lesson plan. It's just going through how it's done, what the safety issues are, how to structure it, how to manage it, and if there are some issues, let's take the kids. If we're going from a game onto the course, so, you've got to transfer those skills onto the golf course or onto a course. So really what we want to do is we want to look at the lessons that we can do in a period of time on the junior sessions, on the Tuesday nights and whatever, how they can be carried across. And I want to sit down with them or meet with those that are interested in adding support to this at the club, literally they can have a notebook and pen in hand, and we can literally go through lesson by lesson what we're going to get out of the lesson, how to structure it, what to get from it, how much fun's going to be had, and off you go. It's all singing from the same sheet, because what I want to do as well is I want to have these helpers, these coaches, these assistants, these coordinators. I want them to look after the same group of kids and take them through the journey, so they get an affinity with the kids, etc. Rather than, like last year, we moved the kids from one skill set to another and they moved to a different coach. I think probably on reflection, it's better to do it the other way, and build up a bit of rapport with the kids and get to know them and get more out of them that way. So really, it's about arranging a time just to go through, say, 4 or 5 sessions, literally on how we're doing this. This is why we're doing this, and these are the groups. And then maybe these people say, well, I'd be comfortable with that age group rather than this age group, and
exactly
get ourselves set up. Yeah, that's really what that's about. For anybody interested, so they're not floundering when they turn up there, and they're not going to flounder away and get nervous about doing it. This isn't, we can give everybody every tool they need to be able to have a fantastic session with these kids. And the other thing we're going to do as well, Ged, I think, is we're going to have a series of so many weeks, and the kids are going to pay up front. So we're not going to waste time on a Tuesday night for 15, 20 minutes, people having to pay money and look for who's taking the cash. It's all going to be done and structured. I think we had 52, 53 juniors in the club last year, and I would like to see most of those turning up on a Tuesday night and bringing some friends and getting memberships going, and maybe as well, if mum comes along or dad comes along, sticking a club in their hand and saying go and have a go on that little 6-hole course with your little daughter here, and see what it's like, and get the whole thing buzzing around that. I think it'd be good.
Exactly, and I think it's really important to note at this point is that if you just got an inkling to become a coach, don't think about your own golf talent or ability. This is open to anyone. So even if you're new to golf in the last year and you enjoy Rowany and you want to be part of the club and perhaps put something back into the club, just come along. This is simple. The technical ability isn't really important. It's just a case of kind of stewarding what goes on and being part of it. And really, it's about having the idea that the juniors, the young people, the new people to the game who've come to Rowany Golf Club, that they're enjoying it, that they're having a good time. It really doesn't matter about the blinking score or how many shots it takes them to get into the hole.
You made a very good point there, Jen. I've been involved with coaching in all sorts of sports at a very high level. Really, I did a stint for the Welsh FA, full badge coach course in '79. I been on squash courts a while back. Played to a very high standard. Been on court with Janga Khan and all sorts. So I was a bit of an all-rounder, but coaching was always it. And I have to say that I've never, ever, as yet, found a coach who's been a great player. Never found it in any sport. And if you look at the coaches in golf, the great players don't coach. They might go and comment on Sky TV, but they don't coach. Fred Shoemaker is not the greatest player. I mean, he's a great player. He was PGA, whatever, and whatever. They're not the great coach. Butch Harmon isn't the greatest golfer, is he?
Exactly.
You look at the football coaches. They might have played high standard, but they've never been at absolutely the top of the game. Because the people at the top of the game really have a very big self-interest almost, and they do it one way. They're not. It's not coaching. Is not coaching is about communication. It's not about how you do it. It's not about what you do. It's about communication.
It is. It's articulating the right. It's not even. It might not even be by words. It could just be the way you stand and just engage with the group, and that's really significant.
It's creating an environment, Jed, and you're part of the environment. I had a bit of a shindig some time ago with a guy online who was part of this group. This was a club pro, PGA pro, and he was talking about qualifications, this and all the rest of it. And in the end, he really did lose his rag. And he said, "People come to me for a golf lesson to see me hit the ball perfectly."
Yeah, yeah.
And that just about, and if it was any real empathy with the club golfer's game and the kids' game, you wouldn't be doing 30-minute quick fixes because you can't do anything.
There's no question about it. We've had a period of enlightenment with golf and coaching and so forth. So let's just go back into the process. I'll get a number of names for this coaching course, this coaching day. How we're going to do it, we might have a Zoom session if we're still under the dreaded lockdown, but I guess then we'll have a session at Rowany with yourself.
Yeah, I think that the way to do we really need to do it before we can get the kids in there. We need to get it out. If we're going to do this properly, we need to, as you quite rightly say, firstly, to get the people who are interested in doing it to find a common way to get the information, the structure over. Ideally, we want to get people at the course all together as a group to create the body of people that are going to deliver it. To share with that body how the games can be, what the feet, all of that sort of stuff, and everybody understand and be on board with that process. Then we need to get the kids enlisted in it, signed up for it, paid for it, and we need to get those age groups and everything all set out. Because the more planning we can do in that basis, the more prepared we are, the better it will be, obviously. Now on that side as well, I am going to be going into the schools in the south on behalf of the Golf Union, to introduce some of these games at the schools and maybe get some inter-school stuff and that. And I am part of that program, as I understand it at this moment in time, is to get those kids to come to the club at some point to experience at the club. So we should be getting a feed into the club from the local schools as well. Now, not everybody's going to do it, obviously, but I think it would be a fantastic thing to do, to once they've experienced it at school level, for us to be able to welcome them to the club. And maybe put on something for them as well, and say, look, let's maybe we could have that inter-school competition at the club. That would be something, wouldn't it? Get the classes that have done the course and come and organise the event at our place, like a golf sports day.
Exactly, something dynamic, a day out, an activity will be, received well by the golf club for sure. So I'm just thinking ahead. Hopefully, this will be done in the next month. So I've just got a few messages popping up on the screen, and we'll have to share them with the audience. Mike McCarthy, John is a great coach. Very simple explanations to problems, and he definitely helped me. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Well,
Isn't that nice? One of the many.
There we go.
And we've got one from Tony. Right, okay. Tony Fleet, I have done all my rugby league coaching badges and worked especially with 12 to 18 years old. So if I can help, give me a shout. Right. How about that? Thank you, Tony. Good man,
right.
Tony Fleet. I really appreciate that. And we've got Emma coming in. What do we got? Emma. William loves his golf lessons with John. He's looking forward to the junior lessons. So it's great to have a bit of participation this Sunday morning. Really appreciate that. So thank you so much. So. I think our next phase, we'll do another blast with the newsletter, and I hope the members there, I don't know whether you noticed, did you get that last newsletter off the club? Fantastic, absolutely transformational, a lot of information about the development on the course, so thank you to those who put that together. And I think we'll just wind it up, we'll just give a little bit of a taster of what's ahead.
Is this? You're not going to refer now, Ged, are you, to this bloody? The reason you were laughing so much when we got on board? I said, "What? Go on."
Oh, hang on. We've got Mark Lowy in, and he's just raised something here which I love because you touched on it. And it says they used to have inter-schools in the 1980s, and they were very successful. And Mark, you've hit the nail on the head, and then for some reason golf kind of just drifted away, but I'm convinced that we can bring this back by changing our attitudes and our approach to making it a fun, friendly game that's just enjoyable. Let's not have it regimented. I think even as a coach, I was guilty of that. I was guilty of having kids stood in lines and almost like having them sweating because they're not gripping the club right. Whereas really, you've just got to let them out and just let them hit the ball, because that's all they want to do. They want to whack it. First of all, they just want to whack it, and you know what? They want to whack it as hard as they can. You can't, that is it. So just let them go with it. They'll find their way, won't they?
Oh, they do, don't they? I mean, God, absolutely fantastic when you see some of them. I think there's a few valid points there. When I look at as well, I was involved for a very brief time with a little lad. He actually joined Rowany, and I'm still amazed at this story. He is a fantastic swinger of a golf club.
Yeah,
an amazing swing. And he went away to 2 events in England and won at 6 years of age, and won both events in the European Junior Tour event, one at Preston and one in Bolton. And he did join Rowany, but he was conflicted. He had a brother who's an Ireland cricketer and all the rest of it. But what he did, he had no lessons at all. He watched video after video after video on golf, and right-handed videos, because most players right-handed, and yet he's left-handed. And in his mind, he flipped it left-handed, and you should see his swing. It's absolutely staggering, fantastic.
I was lucky to see it, John. I was lucky to see it. Phenomenal.
And I think we've lost him to cricket now. I think, because and when I look at what the cricket clubs do, and the rugby clubs, the rugby clubs with the kids, it's absolutely phenomenal. I've got grandkids that go. They turn up in all bloody weathers. They got all the gear, and they're out there on Saturday. With greatest respect to every club and all, I know it's difficult, but we haven't done that, have we? Really, we've let it, like you said, we've let it slip a bit. But here's an opportunity to just stand back and say, do you know what? Here we if there's enough enthusiasm in the club to build it, it'll be fantastic. I've never been with a club that hasn't benefited from having a vibrant junior section. Never. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and let's not do ourselves down, because we have we have got a group of young lads who are early teens. So we have got a core, and there's 4 or 5 of them, and we've got another. We won't mention the names on air, but they did have a coaching course over Christmas, which was great, and that came about through some fundraising that we did. It was myself and Mark Walton. We used to do the Rowany theme night, so hopefully we'll bring that back, because it's not just about the coaching; it's about bringing it together. And if anyone out there, if you want to support golf development, there's always a bit of cash is always handy. Or we need golf balls, or we've got plenty of golf clubs. We're good on that front, because we've worked on that over the years. And we've actually got some of the Tri Golf kit, haven't we?
Got that. I've been reading that this morning. I've got which is the kit which I'm going to be taking into the schools, which we can then use as well at the club as a, if you like, centre of excellence. So I should have 2 sets of that. We can set all that up. We can use that, and so it's all there for us.
Good.
It's great. No, it's great. It's just an opportunity, isn't it? That's all it is. It's not a criticism. What's going on? There's something there that that we can use. There's a base there that we can use to really grow it. That's what I'm saying. If we want to, if the club really get behind it, get the members behind it, it's going to be fun. It could be fantastic.
Well,
it could be great.
It is. I mean, you look at how much Rowany Golf Club has progressed in the last few years. 9-hole competitions, practice ranges, indoor teaching facility. We're going the right way. It's wonderful. And I just got a couple of points that have come in. Yeah, Mark Lowy, he says that Wiz Price was running through the schools. Yes, so Wiz, father of David, who I saw out playing yesterday with Shirley and Tony, saying kids learn at their own speed and will only return if they enjoyed the last session. Just think about that. Yeah. They'll only return if they enjoyed the last session. There's so much in that, isn't there? So you've really got to...
but they'll return as well. I totally agree with that. If they think they're going to enjoy the next one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've just put an image up on the screen of the indoor golf facility. It's yourself teaching one of your prize-winning students. So
have you? Oh, God, I can't see that. Jed, I can't see that.
I know.
Nobody mercy. I have no idea what you're doing.
It's a good profile, and there's a lot of your students, shall we say, who've visited the captain's table to collect a prize, haven't they? Which is very nice. There might be a clue in that, and I'm included if you need any information about that. So we'll just draw this to a close, but very briefly, very briefly, we'll just talk about the 10 days of coaching, which is on the horizon. I'm not quite sure when it will begin. But
all right. So it's not tomorrow then?
It could be if you want.
Oh, well, it depends what you want to do. I don't mind doing that at all. I mean, you asked me about this Zoom idea. Let's just get a couple of things straight right at the outset. So I put together 10 very, very quickly. You know how quick I did it? Just 10 things for 20-minute slots.
Yeah.
And you suggested 9:30 in the morning, and I put 20 minutes.
8:30. 8:30.
Right. What?
8:30.
No, I thought you said 9:30, but anyway, I don't mind 8:30.
No, I think 8:30 is a better time, isn't it? 8:30.
Well, you decide. But I just want to make clear, this isn't talking about a quick fix. This is not a tip, right? These are going to be some guidelines into things that you might want to consider, but it's not going to, and there's certainly going to be a basis to get you to a better place, to enjoy more golf and to play better golf. But they are not tips. In other words, it's not a quick fix. So I've given you the 10 20-minute sessions, and you've decided that you want to get them in quick, so that's fine. I haven't even got them in front of me, Jed. What's the first one I said?
I've got them on screen. Can you believe it? Yes, I have.
Oh god.
So
go on, then.
the technology's going very well this morning. We're in. Right, so it's the Teeing Up 10 days to better golf. So this is a breakfast broadcast. It's at 8:30. So when you've rolled out of your pit, you've got a coffee in hand, and you can set yourself up for the day, because a lot of us aren't able to go to work or do our usual thing. We can book our solo time, and this is a good time, isn't it, to train? Isn't it? A good time to think about your games, isn't it, John? You're not playing competition. You've got to...
there's a lot you can do. You can do an awful lot without having even to have a club in your hand or a golf ball on a teammate. There's so much more. I mean, the Colonel Coffee story is just immense, isn't it?
Yeah.
7 years in solitary and coming out and playing your best golf ever, and never seen a golf ball or a golf club, just thinking about every shot and visualising everything. Check it
out. That's on YouTube. It is quite a story. But yeah, 10 days to better golf. So it'll be a short session in the morning. So 8:30, we'll log on to the Facebook page here, and we'll have it on YouTube as well. So the first day, day one, it will be about stability, turn and hold. There's no right way. John, what would be the flavour of that lesson as I'm munching on my cornflakes?
It'll be the flavour of it will be stability, turn and hold, mate. There's no right way.
And
right, that will be that. Right, that will be the natural way that you can stand, the natural way that you can turn, the limitations that you need to be aware of. And there are more than one way to hold the club, and to share with everybody how they can feel at ease with themselves in all of those three aspects of the game. Because without stability, you're not going to get anything.
So, should we make that a date for tomorrow morning? Is that set
Listen, people have enough of me, but if you feel, Jed, you're running this, not me. If you feel that this is something that will benefit the guys playing the game at the club, and that we're going to get people that want to come in and do this, I'm very happy to do it. It's not a problem at all. It's absolutely fine. Particularly next weekend, the clubs go back to the second week. We're going to it'll be 9:30 anyway. So it's fine. So that's the whole. What's the second session I put in, Jed?
The second session, I shall just pull it up on screen again. The club face and delivery. The ball flight never lies.
Yeah, you go.
The ball flight never lies. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah.
So
ball back. Yeah, because people don't put enough attention on the club face, and we did that session, didn't we, last Monday with Kendall McQuaid.
You know, folks, we're so lucky. John gives us a doorway to some of the best coaches, not just in the UK. We're talking about the world, in the world.
Oh, we've had the best golf coach in the world on, Jed. The best golf coach in the world has been on. Yeah.
Mr. Shoemaker, Frederick, check him out on YouTube. There's a beautiful video. It's well worth watching. It's sublime. Yeah. But we had Kendall, and he was Paul McGinley's coach. So you know that's the caliber of this guy.
Yeah.
So and I just listened to Kendall, and again, you know, it just gives you something else to think about, another portal, and another little pathway to hitting great shots. So. Let's resume on Monday morning. That's tomorrow. The start of the week. We'll be dialing in at 8:30, and please sit down.
How does this happen, Jed? How do people? I mean, I don't understand the technology. Somebody said to me the other day. I mentioned this, and it literally would have been yesterday. You only had this off me on Thursday, didn't you? So Friday rather. How do they know about it? How do people get to hear about this? How's it work?
What we'll do, you've seen the lovely graphic that is on the screen, and that'll be shared with Rowany Golf Club. We'll do a mail drop to all the members, so everyone can get to see it, right. And we'll share it with the Isle of Man Golf page as well. And hopefully, maybe some other clubs, likes of Ramsey, who are quite prolific with Facebook media, perhaps they'll get involved as well, because it's not just confined to Rowany members. We can include everyone, and everyone can improve their game over the forthcoming weeks and go into the Easter break as lockdown relaxes and the competitions start again, and the scores will come rolling in.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll get people away from the idea that A, there's only one way to swing a golf club, and B, that you have to swing it like the pros. Hopefully it'll get people into a different place, a better frame, better state, and understand how to manage themselves around the golf course and get the best out of the game. I think we can do that, but it will not be do it this way. It will not be that.
Oh, thank you so much, John. Tune in tomorrow. And for the
8:30,
I'll
set my alarm
for the I think it'll be a 10-day coaching course. We can listen to John, and we'll keep the lessons. What do you reckon? About 20 minutes, 15 minutes?
Yeah, we don't want
to drag it on too long. But what we want is some audience participation, likes of today. It's great to get the questions come flying in. That does make it a lot of fun for us too. But thank you so much, and if you are interested in being a coach and taking part in the Coaching the Coaches course, just get in touch. You can do a direct message through the Facebook page, or email me, or contact me through the usual sources. You know where to find me. But thank you, John, and we'll catch up tomorrow at 8:30 for our first coaching session.
Better make sure I have a shave tomorrow. I don't have a shave in lockdown. I'll have one tomorrow. Okay.
Glorious. Okay. Right.
All right. Thanks.
We'll return tomorrow.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. Now. Take care.